Welcome back to the channel. We're Phantom Fix. I'm Austin, and that's Ty. And holy crap, Daredevil is back and seemingly better than ever, Ty. This is a huge win for Marvel. After watching these first two episodes, I'm convinced that this show is what we've been waiting for and what Marvel needed. Moving forward, this is a great continuation of the original Netflix show. So I want to talk about just some of the major things that happened in these first two episodes and where do we think it's going from here. So, Ty, what are your overall thoughts? Do you think this is a return to form? What did you like about the episode?
Man, I absolutely loved seeing Matt Murdock, Wilson Fisk. I mean, it was so good to my soul to see this back on my screen, and to see, Matt Murdock donning the Daredevil outfit and fighting and going after it was just an incredible opportunity to go. Marvel's going back to its roots, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Marvel is trying to get it right. I think Kevin Feige is hearing all the noise and he's actually taking it into account with decisions he's made. I mean, we already know that we had information about them basically overhauling what originally was supposed to be. I mean, we weren't supposed to get Daredevil in action until episode 4 or 5, from my understanding. And so they did a complete overhaul and reimagined this show. And I'm so thankful they did, because I think that starting off the way they did, even though the terrible loss of Foggy, which breaks our hearts, that's the type of thing that you need from Marvel, is to hit you in the mouth right at the beginning and just keep on moving forward with great story and great character development. And I think we're in for a great ride for the rest of this show. I'm really, really excited.
Dude, I am so relieved too, because after watching Matt show up in She-Hulk in that ridiculous looking colored costume, acting all goofy, he had a relationship with She-Hulk, we were concerned. And I'm so glad they did not go with that. I'm so glad this is the Daredevil, the Matt Murdock that we had in the Netflix show. There's some differences with the cinematography, and you can tell they're trying to, meld this into the MCU, but it's still Daredevil. It's still the brutality. And that first 15 minutes really shows that brutality. I mean, holy crap. I mean, there were rumors that Foggy might die, but watching it on screen, the visceral reaction that those characters had, I was enthralled from the moment it started. And that one shot scene, we're back to those type of no cuts and fight scenes. Like, it's one shot. And that was really cool to watch. And so I think that was, as sad as it is that Foggy died, I love that actor. I think it was needed for pushing the story forward with these characters and Matt dealing with his demons, and kind of the mirror of how Wilson Fisk is dealing with his demons as well. So what do you think about that relationship? I mean, we got this kind of reunion between Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk, especially in episode 2 when they met in the diner. That was personally my favorite scene. I know that you love that scene as well. What do you think about this dynamic where we're getting two different characters, one trying to be kind of an angel in people's sight as mayor, and then the other one who's trying to not really go back to his anger roots with Daredevil. What do you think of that?
Well, it's a juxtaposition of two people basically being who they truly aren't. So, like Matt Murdock is not this like easygoing lawyer that has like this anger inside of him. Like, he wants to be Daredevil. He wants to be the vigilante. And then Fisk, he wants to take somebody and throw him through a wall. Like, they both have anger issues. They both like to fight. They both like to be violent. They both have a violent side. And it's so funny. One of my favorite things about Vincent D'Onofrio, he's by far like one of my favorite actors, favorite villains. Just because he plays Fisk so well. He plays Kingpin so well. And I love the little twitch he has, like with his hands. And it's like, he's just like this caged animal. He's like this caged animal, like ready to just be unleashed. And it's like they're totally playing it off like they're fine. And that, they're both warning each other if like you get out of line, like, I'm going to do something, and they're both warning each other. And clearly it's foreshadowing for the fact that they're both going to step out of line and they're both going to have an encounter at some point in this show. And that's what I'm really, really looking forward to, is to see another showdown between these two guys, because that's what makes this show. These two actors, if there were nobody else in this show and these two actors were in it, I would watch it. for them.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, and I love, you're talking about how he's a caged animal, and then on the flip side, you have Matt, who Charlie Cox plays that role so well, where he seems like this jokey lawyer, fun loving, and all that stuff. The moment he gets away from the public, he's just like this like rage monster, and he's just like he's so pissed off about what happened to Foggy. He's sad about his relationship with Karen not being there. He's trying to fake it by going on this date that he got set up by his friend, and yeah, he has charisma and like, obviously like it feels good in the moment, like him being with this beautiful woman. But like at the end of the day, like all he wants to do is put on that suit and literally just like make people pay for what he feels like is retribution. I mean, like, and sitting in that diner, that's what he told me. Basically, he was like, I grew up learning about like forgiveness and like grace and like all those things, but I also like grew up like learning what retribution is. And so like that's the side of him that really wants to come out from like his like Catholic upbringing. Like he's like, yeah, there's grace, but I'm also going to beat the crap out of you if you just like step in line. And I'm already pissed at you for being mayor. So he's just like has this watchful eye on him. And I love the tension that's building up there. And that even like it's just so true, especially at the end of episode 2, we get that cliffhanger where he beats the crap out of the cops and he had no other choice, but he just like screams and then it just ends. But like this is just a slow build back to him being Daredevil and really letting that anger out. So I'm really curious to see what happens there. And I think also kind of like the parallel of him dating a therapist is really funny to me because I think like that's going to come to a head too, of obviously like her psychoanalyzing Fisk and Matt. But overall, I think this is a big win for Marvel. I think this is what we've been needing. I haven't seen a Marvel project in a long time that felt like, hey, this is like really good quality. This is storytelling. We care about these characters. I was hooked from the start, and I haven't felt like that in a long time. So where do you think this show is headed after 2 episodes? Where do you think we're going to go in this season?
Well, we still have to find the Punisher. We still got White Tiger. We still have Bullseye, who's clearly going to get out of jail. Like you have several potential setups for several characters that Daredevil is going to have to take on and fight alongside. So we have a lot more character development, and we got a lot that's coming. And I think that when this all comes to a head, it's going to be some epic battles, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this thing shakes out and what it sets up for season 2.
Yeah, and you and I talked offline about just the Spider-Man aspect of things. Like there was obviously that nod that Wilson Fisk mentioned in his press conference of like vigilantes in the street and need to get rid of people like somebody dressed up like a spider. I'm really hoping we get Spider-Man, Fisk, Daredevil in some project moving forward. Like that street level Spider-Man New York against Kingpin, like that's stuff from the cartoons we watched when we were kids. Like I'm so hoping Kevin Feige is setting up for that, because now that this show is a thing, like it really feels like they could start bringing in those other characters. I mean, they obviously mentioned the reference of him. So I'm looking forward to seeing how like kind of all these like comic elements come to play and how this ends in Daredevil really kind of gets thrown into the mix of the larger MCU.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the thing is Kingpin and Spider-Man went at it in the comics, like you said. And at the end of our last Spider-Man, we set him up to be more of a ground level superhero again. Like it was kind of a reset for Spider-Man. He wasn't going to be on these other worlds, and he had a more normal suit that we're used to seeing. And so I, for one, totally agree with you. I would love to see him just staying in the city and taking on some ground level villains that we love from the comics. I mean, holy smokes. Like, why not give us a Sinister Six? Why not give us Kingpin? Man, we can dream, we can hope. We'll see.
For sure. Well, I'm excited to see what's next. This show is really kind of a love letter to all of us fans who waited around for Netflix show to come back. And I'm really excited to see these characters again. And just like the show is called Daredevil Born Again, it really feels like Marvel may be starting to be born again. And I'm really hoping that consecutive projects start really pulling out this quality and this type of storytelling with these characters that we know and love. So we would love to know what you think out there about this show. Did you love the first 2 episodes? What did you like the most about it? Do you think this show is a win? Or are you not a fan of it at all? We know there's some, criticism out there about this show as well. So we would love to know. Please comment down below, engage with us, like this video, and subscribe to our channel. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video from us. We're going to be doing reviews on Daredevil moving forward and other Marvel projects. So please engage with us. We appreciate you guys watching. But until next time, we're Fan and Fix. See you.